My name is Ruth and I'm going to present a recipe after Lucius Burckhardt. Lucius Burckhardt was born 1925 in Davos and died 2003 in Basel, Switzerland, and was a thinker and urban activist in Germany and Switzerland mostly. One of his brainchilds was strawology, which is the science of walking, which can be studied as a minor at university in Kassel. So besides like architecture or urban planning, you can make a degree in strawology. And this, I'm not making this up, even though it kind of sounds a little far-fetched. As I said, I'm a design educator, so I got really extremely inspired by a couple of his pieces, which I also would like to introduce to you. One of the walks, so it's around the science of walking, and one of the walks he took was 1985 with his collaborator Anne-Marie Burckhardt, which was also his wife, and a French artist called Paul Armand Guet. And it's the 0 meter walk. For this walk, he had a t-shirt pretty similar to this. I was trying to mimic this, and this t-shirt was a design by Jean-Paul. So the thesis or the idea here is, I'll try to get this on. The thesis is that in terms of the perception of a landscape, and an urban landscape or a pastoral landscape, is the idea that where does it, like the question is, where does it start? Where does landscape start? And the idea here is that landscape starts where the person who is perceiving the landscape is standing or walking. So in the moment when I have the 0 meter t-shirt on, it's kind of like there is a coordinate here. So it's not, I'm 0 meter wherever I am. Am I on a landscape like this, which is the Alps in Switzerland, or like here on Union Station? I kind of define for me the starting point of the landscape. So Lucius was quite interested in what language does into the perception. So which kind of is interesting, because here you have a lot of language and words and phrases going on in Union Station, which he probably didn't have so much here in the Alps, obviously. So this is kind of stand off the shelf when you have the 0 meter as characters almost like. So as I said, Lucius was kind of professor, and so one of his seminars was around awareness and traffic. So for this, he kind of walked with students, and they had a windshield in front of their faces and would walk a street along. So here's the exercise. It's really about like kind of tackling what kind of perception you would have when you are in a car. So like really kind of give this idea that all your awareness kind of relates to your environment as well, and the environment you put yourself in. And it's also framing. So I think the aspect of like framing a landscape in order to put it into an aesthetic structure seems to me interesting as well. Of course, like I mean, here you see them also having a seminar on the street, and I guess it was like all around in the late 80s. Oh no, this is 1992, and he also collaborated with other artists as well. So Lucius Burckhardt was really kind of in this area where a lot of alternative thinking started, and really kind of questioning what did we do to our cities, but also like around territories, which has been now a lot discussed by Saskia Sassen, for example. Like, kind of like seeing myself in the context of strawology. I was invited in Syracuse in upstate New York like a couple of years ago for an artist talk, and and I said, well, I don't really know what to talk about, but I could arrange or kind of design an experience which will the students enable to work on their purpose in a different way. And the charrette was around like activating the public space. So now like a town like Syracuse has really the problem that nobody walks downtown. It's very car orientated and very abandoned, almost, like I'd say. So there's a lot of effort and also a lot of money actually involved to activate, to reactivate, to reclaim the downtown area. So they had this charrette, and it was interdisciplinary, which I thought it was quite interesting too. And I took the students, so okay, most of the time planning and thinking is happening indoors. So that wasn't that complicated to figure out because I worked at universities as well, and so I kind of like the whole process was sort of familiar to me, and I decided to take the students out into a walk with walking sticks. So here you can see them like walking and standing sort of around a little helpless with their sticks and trying to figure out what I want, because it was really kind of, let's do this, let's just go. And I was trying to encourage them just to soak the whole landscape in, and not really a lot of judgmental like ideas how I want to have it and what, because like design is often that you're going off and you're already kind of looking for tables or street furniture and this and that in order to change something. My hope was certainly that I thought they would take on the idea of walking, which they didn't. But what happened is it's like sort of like the stick is really kind of like an extension of your arm. So in a way, you can touch the ground without touching it, like really kind of bending down, but you get a tactile sense for the surface, which worked quite well. It's surprisingly to me was they started to walk with sticks again and again throughout the 3-day charrette. And I think it's more like about claiming territory, really. I mean, it's about like, this is the earth I'm walking on, and this is what I'm designing for. So in the sense, as an experience, it was very successful. I guess the end of my story would be that I would be quite an advocate for like bringing astrology into various curricula, like not only in schools, but also at universities and art schools, of course.